Welcome back to Crypto's Juiciest News, baby dolls. We're watching Bitcoin still hang around the $50,000 mark. A lot of people are waiting to see what happens. Don't forget, we've had the spot ETF. Now it's been enough time. What's going to be the next move? Of course, no one really knows. We are just guessing. But if we just kind of have a look at the main thing we want to focus on now, which is Ethereum, we are still quite a while away from where Bitcoin is equivalent, which is around up here. What is that? That's the March, April 2022 zone. Now, I've got to remind you, that is where Dildo Quan bought like 40,000 Bitcoin or whatever it was, or 140,000. I forgot how much it was. An enormous amount of Bitcoin with Luna UST. You remember, he did that to kind of like hedge itself, and then it all capitulated after that. It's kind of crazy, right? He basically bought it off someone and they just dumped it right after. It's just really weird, man. Like, he buys and then like, okay, sweet, now let's orchestrate the biggest sell of all time. But it's weird because it was all programmed in the 4-year cycle anyway. So something was going to happen. But yeah, it's crazy, right? I guess we're always destined to go lower from there. But you can't really tell anything from the USD price. Have a look at the Bitcoin dominance, friends. You know, today's focus, we're going to be focusing on the 4-year cycle. But the Bitcoin dominance is still nothing to be concerned about yet. However, you got to level up now, all right? Everyone's looking at Bitcoin dominance. Everyone's looking at ETH BTC. There's a problem. The problem is that the liquidity bonding between Bitcoin and Ethereum is so fierce and the correlation is so high, you're basically looking at the same thing. There is another secret index, which I've been talking to you about, called the others dominance. So others is everything outside top 10. That's real altcoins, pretty much. You can't. Ethereum's not an altcoin. You're meant to call BNB an altcoin, but it's not, because BNB, Binance just keep rotating their profits to buy back BNB, and they just keep it afloat. They keep it manipulated afloat. Now, manipulated in a good way. It's storing value. You can see it in the BNB ETH ratio. They don't move that much. Okay, so looking at other altcoins too, though. Chainlink has this little bit of a pullback. Everyone's just waiting to see where we go. I still have this golden box up here. If we go back up to where we are March 2022, it's like another 40-50%. Let's see if we get that blow off after all. I want to put the 4-year fractal here for you too, friends. Now, this is just the weirdest one, okay? Because you got the 4-year fractal on one hand. You're like, oh, wow, you are the 4-year fractal. You know, you are moving somewhere. You're moving out of line or in line. I have no idea. This is on one hand. On the other hand, we have a Wall Street index drop. We're like, wait, are you distributing on us? Is something going to happen around here? Got to remind you, see this red part? This was an enormous Altseason here. So we got no idea, man. No one has any idea, friends. We're just guessing. I know people want to know. You said Altseasons, yes or no, or left or right. No one knows, man. No one knows. Basically, everyone's trying to follow someone who thinks they know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. I can tell you definitively, right? So far, we are following the 4-year cycle to the tick. I can tell you that definitively. However, I can also tell you definitively there's some other big, nasty stuff happening too. The inverted yield curve. You have super high rates still. And you know that the stock market drops 27% after that. So these macro stuff, they haven't occurred yet, but they are out there. Now, we don't get concerned about these because really, like, you can't control them anyway. But I'm just telling you, if the 4-year cycle breaks, we have absolutely no shock there. We're like, oh, well, you know, there's only 30,000 things saying it could have broken, but you don't know, man. You just never know. I want to remind you as well, whenever Bitcoin does a green monthly close on the SuperTrend, it has like 2 months of a pullback. And I've got to remind you, this is the strongest Bitcoin finish we've ever seen. Bitcoin has hit minus 23% off the all-time high. All the other ones were minus 50 to minus 60% by the time the halvening comes. We have hit minus 24%. That's super, super, super strong. Basically, we should be at 35 to 40K, but we hit 52. What does that mean? No one knows. Once again, just guessing, but I feel like in my guts, because we had a super strong Bitcoin recovery, that is now the premium which will be given to the super strong altcoin recovery, an Altseason, an early Altseason. And I believe it comes down to the fact that markets give this yin-yang thing. So we wiped out a lot of weak hands of altcoins in 2021 when we cut off the bull market. It was a very early cutoff. Top 100 coins got molested. destroyed. I think, well, not even I think, now it's been enough time. Now we are starting to move up. So this is why it's really weird, friends. If you count the Bitcoin top, so I can show you right now, if you count the Bitcoin top with Dogecoin up here, then we are actually entering altcoin mania now. However, if you count the Bitcoin top as the November one, where retail sentiment did not peak, then we are running a bit early. So we don't know what's going on. However, if you say, okay, retail got destroyed here, and now we're moving here, that actually makes sense. That's actually in line. But it's weird because the Bitcoin price and the retail sentiment, they did not top together. They didn't even top next to each other. They topped 6 months apart. You see, Bitcoin topped at the end of 2021, but Dogecoin topped in May. So that's where the discrepancy comes from. You don't have to get smart with this or get cute. In my experience, I'm just wearing a cork hat on the internet, friends. In my experience, when you see this, it means do nothing. It literally means do nothing. The market will look after you in a good way. That's what it usually means. It doesn't mean get short and do leverage, do all this weird stuff. No. Just do nothing until a big clear opening appears. And we're going to take some time now to hereby declare my success that Starkware is scammy dog shit. That's right, friends. Starkware. I want to show you something. So millions of people, fake accounts, right? They all missed out on their airdrop. They farmed with $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. They were all trying to game it. Everybody thought they were a genius. And I was telling you, look, man, you got to learn from your friend Somi here. Promise me you won't ever follow more than 10,000 people anywhere into anything. Don't ever follow 10,000. That's around the number, okay? In crypto, that's exactly the death trap number. I don't know why. It's around there. 10,000 people participating in something minimum. Okay, sweet. We're all going to get wrecked. Pulse Train was 40,000. All got wrecked. PulseX was 140,000. Definitely got wrecked. Hex launch was 10,000. 5,000 to 10,000 people. Guess what? It dropped 90% from everyone's adoption amplifier price, which we're going to go through in another video later. So everyone gets wrecked. You see that? You just can't follow everybody, friends. You just can't. The only thing you can do that actually works, okay, if you want to win, okay, IDO projects, where they got to close the door after you, though. So you need limited access. That's literally all you can do. Okay, participating in IDO, okay, sweet. No one gets the coins for 6 months to a year, and there's limited access. And this is the guaranteed price, and once it fills up, that's it, pool's closed, sweet. Okay, that's one. But the problem is, me and you can't get all the projects. I'm trying to get like 1 out of 100, trying to participate. Okay, by the way, the Clip Finance IDO is on. And this is what it looks like, baby dolls. I have the description here and there. You also got to make sure, friends, you swap into USDC.E. Okay, not USDC. That's the native Matic one. I know I spoke to the team about it. I'm like, man, it's going to confuse all of us. But it's easy. It's okay. Because if you try to deposit, it doesn't go in. Okay, Clip Finance, I made a video on it. I've told you the market cap I'm joining, everyone joining, we're joining at 13.8 million. Total DeFi is 13 billion. So if you kind of hope, okay, can this whole industry grow 10x? Okay, because nothing's growing 10x by itself. That'll be 130 billion. And then this is active liquidity management, but also, friends, the A in their name, ALM, stands for AI. So I guess, yeah, it's AI, right? So it's just a buzzword here and there, but you know what I mean? People want to buy AI stuff, perhaps. Maybe that's something that look forward to in the future. There's no sector on CoinGecko. I like that. And it's a solution that everybody needs, because I've got to remind you, friends, you don't make money on Ethereum providing liquidity. Not sure if you know that, okay? Because it's so competitive. Uni V2 sucks. You don't make money. your yield is like 3 to 6%. It's less than like Ethereum staking yield. You're taking all that risk and you're getting destroyed because you're only competing with, the orders that hit you are smart money pretty much. No, there's not enough done money trading on-chain Ethereum at all, basically, to do it. So that's an unfortunate reality of this. However, this opens up an opportunity for us. That's old DeFi, like Yearn is just trying to help farm and provide liquidity or try to do farming and stuff. But this is the new stuff coming in forward. And hopefully, we wish the team well. So you can participate if you want to. You don't have to. No pressure, okay? But it's on live. There's also the paid Launchpad stuff coming out. You don't have to buy paid, but there's a public whitelist. Remember, friends, you got to be on time, 11 a.m. UTC, whatever it is, whatever the time is. Don't quote me on that, but literally, you got to put your phone alarm 2 minutes before the pool opens, and then you got to have your USDC ready or whatever it is on Polygon, and then you literally got to spam click to get in, because it's free money. They're literally handing out free money. There's $1 million raise. 800,000 is people who have 75,000 paid or more. If you have 75,000 paid, you don't have to buy in, friends. Like 30 grand or something. You get to buy a day before. Once that pool falls, there's like 200,000 given to the public, but it's free money. If you get in, it's free money. You may as well try to participate. Okay, but this is part of this lottery ticket stuff here and there. Okay, so look, I've seen enough, okay? I've seen enough of all these ratios. Everything retraces against Ethereum. You haven't shown me, friends, only BNB has been able to go up against ETH pretty much in the freaking bear market. That's it. Only BNB. So there is a 99% chance the coin that someone out there is promoting is pretty much looks like a scam. It's a 4-year round trip. Everything, friends. Polkadot, Chainlink, everything. Obviously, we saw Hex round trip 4 years. Everything destroyed. Everything against ETH. So I'm not taking any chances, okay? You can take the chances. I'm personally not. I'm like, you know what? 90% core. I'm not making 100% core. I'm doing 10% lottery. I'm participating in IDO projects, participating in all these other altcoins that are really, really low, okay? That was that first way to participate, friends, to try to win. Remember, the next way to participate is buying low. But you don't get the depression prices forever, do you? The only things that we kind of know of is Richard Hart coins. But the valuations now, it's 6 billion total. So are you buying as cheap blood as you think? Maybe not really, friends. But actually, it is still cheap now. Think about it, because Richard Hart is 5 billion, but the top was 50. Okay, so 50 cents times like 90 billion coins right off of Hex at the top. So you're buying a 90% discount. So whether you buy Pulse, PulseX, or Hex, that's worst case, right? You're trading it as one coin. So now that I think about it, actually, that's literally the last thing on the floor. That's like buying Chainlink at $5. Okay, but Chainlink went up and hit 20. Now it's still 18. So you get what I mean? Now, that's why, friends, people, see, I've just told you everything. Okay, that's the most important part. Instead of listening to me, what people do is they try to get cute. They go, no, I'm going to have my own way of doing it, and I'm going to go join these other 100,000 plus people farming this airdrop. Look at this one insider wallet. Received 1.4 million Stark, which is $3 million into 1,361 wallets. Is obviously an insider, friends. Like they knew, clearly. They knew, oh, what's the conditions here and there? It is what it is, okay? But look, the game's rigged, okay? The game is rigged, friends. The game is always rigged. So you got to get in early, okay? That's it. You heard it from me. Your friend saw me. And now I'm going to play some nice hyper pump music, okay? Because you still got to get excited. The game is rigged, friends, but you can still win. Just be early. That's it. Just be early. Now, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek, isn't it? Because when I say be early, what do I really mean? I mean, like, what's early is, you know, because Bitcoin has 219 million people in the network. You know, if you buy after 10 million people, you still make an enormous amount. I know, it's tongue-in-cheek, but you got to play the cycle. You got to play emotions. And that's it. And by play, I know everyone's just guessing, man. We're just guessing. What if it doesn't work this time? We don't know. All I can tell you is that right now, it seems like the biggest edge we have is the extreme volatility of crypto keeps happening, which means there's always extreme happiness and extreme sadness, which means prices high, prices down. For now, one day it'll be dead and literally unreadable, just like the S&P 500. And now you're guessing on the cycles. Now you got to do surveys of 400 people to try to find any edge. That's why until that moment comes, friends, you don't have to waste your time with these airdrop stuff. But I mean, good luck to anybody farming these airdrops. I'm telling you personally right now, when I see the friends, there's literally a website called airdrops.io. You're like, okay, the whole edge is gone. There's literally a website for all these jeets to go, oh, let's look at all these projects that are getting an airdrop, and I'm going to be the genius who farms them all. Like, it is what it is, man. You can't, I know, when the crowd has their mindset on one thing, they're not going to stop, because they're also in other jeet support groups where everybody else is farming too, and they're all talking to each other. Yeah, this one's going to be real sweet, going to get like my $40 here and there. But look what's happening. Once I get too popular, everybody's diluted. No one gets any of the value. So I already told you what to do, okay? So you don't need to rely on these. But this is the most astounding thing of all, friends. This is the 4-year cycle, okay? We're going to finish on the 4-year cycle. This is crazy. So look at this, friends. So look, where does it come from, okay? I now have this permanent chart. This is the others dominant. So if you type in others, now there's others crypto market cap, right? But look at the others dominance. That's what I like seeing. It's the real Bitcoin dominance thing that you want to look at. Why? Why is it an issue? The issue is remember what I just showed you at the beginning of this video. Bitcoin's dominance, okay, its volatility is kind of sucking now because Ethereum is so liquidity linked with it. It's almost like, okay, not almost like, this is what's been happening. It feels like people who want to store value in Bitcoin used to only store it in Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum is taking share from it, that store of value component. So Ethereum's correlation, it's moving up and down with Bitcoin. People are like, because Ethereum's now old enough, isn't it, friends? Because remember, Ethereum used to be 2 years old. Now Ethereum is going on to 10 years old. You're like, whoa. Remember, Bitcoin used to say, oh, we're the first, we're the oldest. Ethereum is never going to work because it's untrustworthy. You don't really care. Okay, something's 14 years old, something's 10 years old. Nah, same thing to me. You see what I mean? Eventually, it's going to be 24 years old versus 20 years old. Okay, so it's around the same, okay? Then people are going to forget which came first, probably in the future, in decades from now. So I want to look at others' dominance. Others is remove everything in top 10. Remove Tether, remove USDC, remove those big stable coins, remove BNB, get rid of them. I want pure, hot, smelly altcoins. That's what others' dominance is. And this is this chart, friends. This is crazy, this cycle, how it repeats, okay? So where are we today if everything continues? So we're in a Bitcoin halving altcoin run, okay? So in 2016, it happened, and then basically we died for 6 months, okay? In 2020, it happened, and then we died for like 3 to 4, 5 months as well. Now, this chart is not a real print, okay? Because we were here, I was here every day, friends. DeFi season peaked in August of 2020. It did not peak in October. We are already crushing down here. So the peak was here. Luckily, I know this, right? So you get to see how long did it die for? It died for 133 days. So in one period, we were dead for 6 months. The other one was 4 months. Okay, so there you go. 4 to 6 months after the top. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, where are we today? Well, this is where we are right now. So yes, friends, technically, this could have been the top already, which means if we topped out in December, we're going to rock it again in June, okay, because it's been 6 months. But what if we haven't topped out yet? What if we top out around a May or a June cut? Because remember, friends, I know there's no direct correlation with these, but, and it's only happened once, but I'm just guessing. It's just me guessing, thinking like, I wonder if when the US Fed cuts rates, that's the final weak hands entering crypto. That's what I'm just wondering. I'm just thinking about it. Wouldn't that be like spectacular? The first rate cut, finally, everyone's finally waiting for that pivot, and then that cut happens at the top. The top of this is like speculative mania, which is not happening at the top. It's causing the top. People. So friends, this is where you got to, okay, you know this now. This is going to be controversial, but I don't give a damn. All right. This whole move of altcoins going up is pricing in the rate cut. Okay. That's smart money. The market is smarter than just one person. The market is pricing in the rate cut. Then when it finally cuts, it goes, wait a minute. You know when you need to cut, this is what's happening, okay? The Fed never cuts once, friends. You know that whenever they cut, it's on average, I think it's 200 to 400 basis points, so 2 to 4%. That's on average. I think the real average is like 250 basis points. That's still huge, man. You're doing one cut out of like 10, so you've got to cut 10 times. But why do you need to cut 10 times? Because something bad's happening. So that's what the market knows that. That's why the market tops out on the cuts. The smart money starts selling, and they start selling along the way. They go, oh, okay, you've cut once, I'm going to sell. You've cut twice, I'm going to sell. You've cut 3 times, I'm going to sell, right? And then what's happening? The newbies are buying. And then when they, that's basically how it works in a nutshell. Now, if we top out in June, that's why I'm hoping this altcoin dominance and flushes up. I just don't know how high it'll be. You might be wondering, like, what's the unit of measurement here? We don't know. We don't know. I can tell you that the others index, so the whole index, we already have that. I'll show you. And this is a beautiful chart that I made here for you. Okay, this is the others index, friends. You see this? The orange is the others index. Okay, now if you look at it, you can look at the left-hand side. It is around 224 billion. And if it goes back up to the March 2022 zone, it's 355 billion. So how much is that? Like 125 billion-ish? 125B. Now, where does that 125 billion go? No one knows. It's just guessing. It goes everywhere and it goes nowhere. It goes everywhere to new coins, some to old coins, but like on average, I can give you some principles. Cycle 1 coins get most of the new money coming in because they just get new of the attention, okay? Cycle 1 coins and Cycle 1 narratives. On average. It doesn't mean you're definitely going to pick the right one. That's around a 50% move from today, which what I'm basically telling you is the average coin in the top 100 will do anywhere from a plus 50% to a 2x. That's the average. You get every single coin. Now, you don't want the average, right? Otherwise, you just buy every coin. You believe that you're in coins that are like way undervalued and keep going up. I already showed you, right? So Chainlink, friends, is only 40% to its golden retracement. So you can see Chainlink is now part of the index, okay? But Chainlink has recovered well with the index. Hex, for example, is lagging, and so is PulseChain and PulseX. If you use Richard Hart as the as one coin, just for an example, this opportunity though, okay? There's one example. There's many examples out there as well. So that's how much we've basically got to go in terms of if you look at that others dominance. So this is where we are now, like clockwork, friends, like absolute clockwork. But look where the red arrow is. Bitcoin breaking the all-time high. So Bitcoin, for some reason, friends, like clockwork again, Bitcoin breaking the all-time high. And then look what happens next. You have a giant alt season. You die off, and then another alt season. Okay, so there's one and then two. All right, two big alt seasons. The first one's obviously the biggest. Bitcoin halvening altcoin run. Again, this was 2020. What did we have? We had this was the Dogecoin Mania, Doge, ship, everything else. Now, this one was a fake one. Look how trash that was, by the way. Basically, barely got to the high. That's why it was like cut off. But this one, to be honest, we don't like to admit it, but it's true. Most of the altcoin run in 2021 went to NFTs. Many of them. You had a lot of retailers going into monkey JPEGs, pudgy penguins, everything. JPEGs everywhere. Just, yeah, it was NFTs. They got a big part of it. Crypto punks and everything. Okay, so a lot of people don't like to admit it, but it's true, right? It's because you're holding old coins. You're like, oh, I didn't participate. Yeah, friends. That's why Cycle 1 narratives, if they blow up, can be huge. You see? But look what happened here. After that, bear market, just like everything else. So now, here we are now. So this year's alt season, it's basically, we don't know how high it will go. It's just a recovery one, okay? We're waiting for the Bitcoin breaking the all-time high. Now, there's going to be two boxes here. So really, this is going to be like just a big box. But there's going to be the first one is the one that matters the most, friends. This is literally it, okay? Because I don't want to rely on that second one. Because in this second one, if we go back to 2021, this second one was a total failure, okay? Because you got to see most altcoins like Chainlink and Doge, they never went back to touch their all-time high. Litecoin, nothing. 90% of coins, that's a real stat, in the top 100, they did not go back to touch their all-time high. Only 10%. So that's right. If you use last cycle as your metric, which I hope it's a bad cycle, an unlucky one. If you use that cycle, that means 90% of people are going to get absolutely destroyed. Okay? Because 90% of the action you should be taking is to sell your altcoins on this Bitcoin all-time high break. Unless you really believe you're in the top 10%. And let me tell you something, I don't think you should take that chance. Hedge yourself, right? Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? You might say, well, you know, I think we're going to go up higher, but I better take some out just in case, right? Doge went back down to hit like 4 or 5 cents or whatever it did, friends. Remember, so imagine you could sell Doge at like 30 to 40 cents. Like, even though it hits 50, you don't sell the exact top 50 or 60. But if you get to sell there, at least you think, oh, what if I'm wrong? What number's that a right amount? No one knows. Okay, you have to guess that for yourselves. Some people say like 30%. Some people say 50%. Okay, we'll speak more about that as that comes. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you soon.